I am Brooke Hill, and Allison and I are friends, and we're also business partners here at Amber Brooke Farms.
Well, initially it was Atwood Family Farms, which was our family, and then we put it together with the Hill family because we own some other businesses together, and so we tried to think of a name that would combine our families. And so we thought, came up with all kinds of really not so great names. And so my middle name is Amber, and then Brooke, obviously, is Brooke's first name. They're both kind of from nature, and so when we put together Amber Brooke, it brought our families together and kind of represented both of us with one name. So that's where that came from. In the activities that we have set up here, one of our main driving points was to make activities that families could do together. It's not things that you're going to just sit and watch your kid do. You're going to actually be able to participate with them, whether it's archery or the ball games or the slide hill is made so that families can race each other down the slide because it's 4 wide and you can get on and, beat each other to the bottom. So that's, was one of our main goals in terms of setting up the activities that we have here.
So I would say that we are very conscious about food safety, and all of our practices here on the farm are with the end consumer and our guests in mind. So we really, from start to finish, we are very intentional and prepared and well thought out for how are we doing this effectively, how are we making sure this is the best thing for the environment, for this farm, and for our community.
Like in terms of high standards, I think both of the guys, Ryan and Michael, and then the other guys that work within the actual agriculture part, the farming practices, spend a lot of time learning. Like they're always reading, going to conferences, going to meetings, even just amongst each other in the agriculture community. People are really, they're good about sharing with each other. Like, okay, I had this problem, but this is what helped me, and it might be something as silly as when we used to put juice containers around the plants. We actually have a different system to do it now, but it would look like we were growing fields of orange juice, and it was one guy figured out that this helped to make the plants grow straight up. So, they'd share it with each other, and then everybody started doing it, and kind of from there, we're able to make progress to make the plants easier to harvest from just by sharing that information and being aware with one another.
And I would say high standards here at Amber Brooke Farms. We really pride ourselves in excellence. So we want our grounds to be excellent. We want our guest experience to be excellent. We want our product offerings to be excellent. So we really strive for making sure we are doing whatever we can do to provide the best experience for our guests from start to finish. So I think that one of the great benefits of being here within our community is we host a lot of field trips. Obviously, we have our U-Pick seasons for the majority of the year, and it is such a wonderful way for our community to learn where their food comes from, who's growing it here within their community, learn about the different seasons and what's growing in Central Florida during strawberry season in the wintertime, blueberry season in the spring, and then we have other crops too, like our flower crops and our corn. So I think it's just a great way for people to learn the basics and fundamentals of agriculture and seasonality, and also there's nothing healthier for you than if it's coming straight out of the field.
I've had so many guests that are like, oh, I don't really like blueberries, or strawberries are okay, but then when they come here and they eat it right from the bush, they're testing it out and seeing it, they're like, oh no, this is so much better than what I've gotten in the grocery store because it's fresh. You're not waiting for it to get to the grocery store from the field. It makes a big difference.
So I know we love having the community out to our farm. So it brings us so much joy, and that's why we want to extend our seasons for as long as we can to allow our community to come out and experience it and enjoy being on this property with us as we're here farming. We are so grateful for the community support. We have so many people, family, friends, and people our children go to school with here in the community that come out and support us, and we're just so grateful and thankful to serve everybody.
I think really just having the chance for families and for kids to be able to come out to the farm, to have a good time, to associate positive memories and positive experiences with being on the farm and seeing where their food comes from. And, also doing fun things. They might come out here thinking, oh, gel blasters and archery, but then they're also having a great time learning about how their food is grown, how the flowers are grown, and just being out there and being part of it.
Yes, so future plans, immediately we have our Winter Festival coming up. So that's somewhat new this season. We're doing it a little bit differently. We have our strawberry season coming up and then blueberry season following that. We're always making our guest experience bigger and better and including new activities on the farm and making our product offerings better for the communities.
We actually do have a new festival coming up, the Beer and Wine Festival that we'll be having in January, I believe. So just another way to get families to come out or to appeal to adults as well, you know, that it's not just a place for kids, that we want adults to come out and have a good time and enjoy the sunflower fields and spending time listening to music and just being out in nature with some food and wine. So can't beat that.